Hey everybody, it's Sonjdradeluxe. Can I get a hell yeah? Yeah. I think I got lipstick on this. Today, we're gonna be taking a look at the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Liquid Foundation. This is exciting because it is a updated version of her other formula, which I must admit, as a dry skin person, I wasn't a huge fan of because it made me feel a little bit tight and it was just too matte for me, and on my dry skin that doesn't really work. Also, the fragrance, even though it was nice, it was pretty strong on the face. So I'm excited to dive into this, especially because I've been saying I feel like whatever is going on in the Huda Beauty lab lately with the mascara, the new Naughty Nude palette, the formulation of that, and the Faux Filter foundation sticks, I am excited to try this foundation, even though it's a little bit scary just because of how my feelings were towards the last liquid. So I have 3 shades here that I'm gonna take a look at for you, but first I'm just gonna run over some claims. So this is fragrance free, non-comedogenic. I had to look at what that means, but it basically means it's not gonna clog your pores. No transfers, wearing a white shirt, so we'll see about that. Non-drying, huge for me because I'm, like I said, I'm head of the ashy committee. 39 beautiful shades, super long wear, 24 hours. I think that's great. Don't put anything on your skin for that long. I mean, if you got a party and you know, can't wash your face, I understand. We'll have those maybe moments, but it's also waterproof, sweat proof, vegan proof, I meant it's vegan, does not repel vegans. So apparently she's gone over this and it took 40 versions to get this. I'm excited about it. Waterproof and humidity proof. Very excited to hear that, especially coming up into summer. I'm trying this on in Canada in January, so my skin is a little drier than normal, but I did moisturize really well before this, and I'm excited this is launching now. I understand if you're in a hotter climate, this is probably useful all year round, but I just want to see what it feels like because I tried the other one in the summertime and it was very dry. It looked pretty, but it didn't feel great. So I've got 3 shades here. Getting nice and close. Alright, so I've got, and then just keep in mind, my body is quite a bit darker than my face, so I usually go a little bit darker, so we'll see what we got here. I also got a Blemmy here, so this is a good time to test out a full coverage foundation. So the wear is supposed to be a natural or a satin matte, which makes me really excited because I like a natural finish, and I'm more used to wearing foundations that are more sheer or medium buildable coverage. At this point, I haven't worn a full coverage foundation in a long time, and if I have, I've sheared it out. So let's try this. So first up, I have gingerbread. So also it's got the same packaging as the other one. This is gingerbread. Well, it feels pretty thick. Wow. So that's gingerbread. See what it looks like. Okay. Next up, I have toffee. It's almost like a blizzard, like it's so thick that it sticks if you hold it upside down. My normal foundation is very watery, so it kind of just runs down my face. This I think is probably a little bit too yellowy for me. So that's toffee. I just want to make sure I have enough room for my 3rd shade here. This one is churro. Okay. Okay, so this one is not as yellow. I feel like I could go in between toffee and churro, but churro is just a little bit more warm. I have like more red undertones in my skin. This one I think is just too dark. Maybe for summertime it might be cute. Just want you to see this undertones really well. So I think I'll go with the churro shade. It looks a little bit deeper, but I use a quite light concealer, so I'm not too worried. It's drying pretty quickly, the ones that I buffed out. A little bit nervous about the shades that I have, but I want to mostly focus on the texture of it. So I think I'm going to go with churro. So that's off. Usually I put like a liquid highlighter or a highlighter underneath my foundation, but this is supposed to have a natural or radiant matte finish, so I want to see what that looks like with no help from me. And I'm excited to see a long wearing foundation that's full coverage and also has a little bit of a natural radiance to it. So let's take a little look. I'm gonna go in first with the Huda Beauty Moisturizing Water Jelly Primer, because I need all the moisture I can get. I still have the other foundation in my mind that was very, very dry for me. I'm super dry. Feels like water, or actually like this. I discovered this when I was trying the foundation sticks. So I think on this side I'm gonna try with my hands, because remember I said it felt a little sticky when I was doing it, or thick. So let's see here. Okay. So yeah, it does definitely has a lot more grip than what I'm used to for doing foundation with my hands like this. seems to stick a bit more. I want to try it with her brush just because of the way that it's kind of not really pulling, it just has more grip. Almost like how the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer feels, where when it's starting to dry, where it gets that like tackiness a little bit. Seems to be covering everything, all my secrets. Little tiny bit concerned about the color because it looks a little bit more yellow than what I use, but maybe it's a room for opportunity to, maybe I should stop being so orange all the time, you know? I'm gonna do the same thing, 2 pumps on this side, but with the brush. Or maybe I just did 1 pump, never mind, haha. Just so my brush doesn't absorb everything all on the first swipe, I'm just gonna move it around a little bit. It blends really nice with the brush. I'm gonna stipple if I want to keep the coverage, move it away. It's actually very quick with the brush too. The problem is I can't blend it onto my neck like, well, now I can. Stop being so dramatic, oh my gosh. It actually feels really great with the brush, and I think because it's such a dense brush with so many little fibers, it can help pull that really thick foundation out and across really easily. Honestly, in terms of what side looks better, they look kind of the same. I think I'd have to play with it a little bit more to love doing it with my hands. They're both just kind of new ways of doing things for me. And I'm a little bit concerned about the color because I feel like, because it's not as red as my normal foundation shade, I feel like I'm a little bit gray around my mouth area. But my concealer is very peachy, so we'll see how we can neutralize that. I can feel it on my skin. I don't think it's fully dry yet. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I'm pretty obsessed with the Huda Beauty Overachiever Concealer already. It's so weird, like I can feel it on my skin, but let's see when it dries. So this is very peachy. This is Caramel Corn. I'm gonna do that kind of around underneath my eyes where it's a cooler shade. I might just do my mustache because it seems to be a bit cooler there, and a little bit on the nose. And I will say, just the foundation on its own, my skin, now that it's drying a bit, I feel like I could kind of feel it on my skin, but this seems to really appear like it's blurring my pores. This concealer over top of this foundation looks freaking bomb. And this concealer is a totally different finish. It is full coverage, but I feel like it has almost a radiant finish to it, which is why I really like it on my drier skin, and it blends really well. Also, my bronzer is very peachy and orange, so I think maybe that'll cancel out. So I'm not really concerned about the color anymore. I think this is definitely workable. It is very radiant actually, but I still kind of feel it on my skin a bit. So I want it to be fully dry. Okay, so I went to go look at myself in my bathroom mirror and a few other mirrors, and I'm low-key loving this. Now that it's more dry, I don't feel it on my skin. It's almost like I could feel it drying a little bit or something. I felt it on my skin, but it actually looks really nice. This is super exciting for me because I am not a huge fan of full coverage foundation, but my skin just looks really smooth. Even with a blemish, like I feel like it just kind of blurs it. Obviously, you know, you can still see it, but it is covered. We like that. It just looks really smooth and it doesn't feel heavy. But my favorite thing is the glow. It's hard to achieve full coverage and dewiness on the skin. That's why I'm saying it reminds me of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, where you can kind of feel it almost drying like the thinnest amount of glue or something like that. Well, this doesn't feel like glue, but I don't know how to explain it other than I could feel it drying. This is wild. I feel like this is mad innovative, and going back to, I don't know what's going on at the Huda Beauty lab out here, but I don't know if I've seen a foundation like this, especially if it supports the claim of 24-hour wear. I remember my Prolong wear from MAC that was discontinued. That was 15-hour wear, and I could go the whole day, and it always looked really great, which this low-key kind of reminds me of that, although this is full coverage. Kind of that same feeling. And almost like it oxidizes neutral, because when I first put it on, I feel like I could see it. Just like the Prolong wear that was discontinued, it went on quite vivid and then it would dry more neutral. I like this, and it was very fast because I didn't have to layer it to build up more coverage. I don't feel like I have anything on my face now. Okay, sorry, I'm just bleh. So I want to see what this looks like with my regular skin routine. I'm just shook. So I'm going to take my MAC Dark Deep Mineral Skin Finish, which I said is quite red. Use a mirror, I don't want to mess this up. It even makes this go on smoother. Wow, maybe because it's not so wet, it doesn't have to stick to anything. That looks airbrushed. Wow. Sometimes when you put bronzer over and you have a blemmy, it'll take off the foundation there, but it just looks smooth. Now for transfer proof, I wonder if that means, because it's annoying wearing light hair when you don't have super light skin. I guess probably everyone can deal with it if your hair is like, or has that issue with your hair, but getting foundation in your hair, so if that's transfer proof, that would be lit. I don't even want to put on highlighter today. I'm gonna do a little snatch of the nose. Oh, everything's just going on with butter. This is like, I feel like red carpet makeup, you know what I mean? Like just, oops. Even when I wipe stuff away, it's not taking off my makeup. You really don't want to leave this skin, okay? This is my Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion. This is also supposed to be long wearing and waterproof too, so if you do want to look cute in the pool when outside is open once again, I feel like these two would probably be a really good match. Or if you're somewhere really humid, or if you're sweaty. I don't even want to put powder on, because I never used to wear powder, but when I started wearing more sheer foundations, I started to wear powder, maybe just to give a little extra coverage and to set it. I almost feel like I don't need it. I'm going to take a blush a little bit more neutral than the last one I did in my other video. This is Foxglove KVD Vegan Beauty. I don't think Huda has blushes yet, but I'm excited for that. Wonder what she's cooking up. And then cheeks here. It just looks radiant, this foundation, even with the products putting on over top. I wonder if they're gonna reformulate their powder too, because that smells pretty strong too, but it's more on the drier side. So I'm gonna take my Pat McGrath Labs powder, light medium 2, just like a little bit in here on my beauty blender. I'm not shiny there, maybe just like a touch in here. I don't wanna get rid of this that's happening on my cheeks. This is really nice. Okay, let's do a little recap here. Just as a little recap, definitely shook. I'm excited to see how it wears throughout the day. I'll write it in my caption. It is a journey, like you almost feel the science behind it working as it goes, because it goes on thick and then it oxidizes a little bit more neutral than when you first put it on. It is full coverage for sure, but I don't think it's taken away how my skin is. It's got a little bit of a reflecting bit in it, just like how I say I like to contour or bronze with, so your skin still has movement and will catch the light. Like I said, I'm not even wearing highlighter right now, but I feel like a dewy princess. I really like it. I think it's definitely worth a try. Completely different than the first formula. I think that the things that might have carried over is that it's full coverage and it does make your skin look nice, but this has like that extra little bit of radiance to it. I'm super excited about this for summer. I'm excited to try it with highlighter underneath, because like, whoa. If I already like highlighter underneath my foundation and I didn't do it and I really like my skin right now, I'm just so excited to play with this more. And then I also want to play with it a little bit to see how I can sheer it out if I want to. I don't know if this is a formula you want to sheer out because of all of the qualities of it that make it so great. So this is something I'm going to start using. I haven't said that in a long time, and I don't change my foundation very often. I'm very much a creature of habit, but I really like this and I think I'm going to start using this in my videos because it looks bomb. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to cop it. Whoop, almost slipped. Huh. Let me know if you're gonna cop it, and if you have any tips or tricks if you already have it, or if there's anything you want me to try. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and follow. Love yourself, stay pretty, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Take care.